What if I told you that the next big war could break out at any moment and it might hit your wallet harder than anything you've ever seen? Right now, tensions are brewing in the Middle East and the ripple effects could shake up the US economy, weaken the dollar, and force the entire global financial system into a state of chaos. Let's dive deep into the signs that suggest a storm is coming, and how it all connects to your money. This past weekend, US military activity in the Middle East saw a significant increase. We're not talking about small-scale operations. This is a full-blown escalation that could spiral into a larger conflict. Troop movements, deployment of advanced weaponry, and strategic posturing all suggest that the situation is rapidly deteriorating. And when tensions rise in such a volatile region, global markets react swiftly. So, what does this mean for the US dollar? The US is already dealing with high inflation rates and talks of interest rate cuts. Adding the potential of a new conflict into the mix makes for a complicated economic picture. When global investors sense instability, they often look to safer havens, which leads to a drop in confidence in traditional currencies like the US dollar. If the dollar weakens, it could drive up the costs of goods, increase borrowing rates, and hit consumer spending hard. Enter gold, the ancient, trusted store of value. Whenever geopolitical tensions heat up, we see a surge in the price of precious metals. Gold in particular is viewed as a safe haven investment, a place to park money when the usual options start to look risky. Recently, gold prices have been on the rise, reflecting a growing fear among investors. People are flocking to gold, not just because of tradition, but because they anticipate economic turbulence ahead. China and Russia's strategic moves. But it's not just individual investors buying up gold. China and Russia are aggressively stockpiling their gold reserves. Why? It's a strategic move to reduce reliance on the US dollar. Both countries are keenly aware of how global power dynamics can shift quickly in times of conflict. By building up gold reserves, they're not just protecting their economies, they're signaling to the world that they're preparing for a future where the dollar might not dominate as it does today. The politics behind military actions. Now here's where it gets even more complex, the political angle. With major elections on the horizon, there's speculation that military action in the Middle East might be more than just a strategic decision. Could it be a way to rally domestic support, to manipulate public opinion, or to distract from domestic economic issues? There's a fine line between genuine national interest and political maneuvering, and right now that line looks blurred. This is a critical moment to question what's truly at stake and who stands to gain. Does war in the Middle East benefit the US? History has shown that the US has often intervened in Middle Eastern conflicts with questionable outcomes. The benefits of such actions are unclear at best, with many arguing that the costs, both human and financial, far outweigh any strategic gains. So why engage again? What justifications are being presented this time, and do they really hold up to scrutiny? As we examine these questions, it's crucial to understand that these decisions have direct consequences on global markets, and more importantly, on your personal finances. Investor alert, connecting politics and personal finance. So, how does all this tie back to you as an investor? It's simple. Politics and personal finance are inextricably linked. Decisions made in Washington or Beijing can have immediate and profound impacts on your investments, savings, and overall financial security. In uncertain times like these, it's more important than ever to stay informed, think critically, and understand how global events could affect your financial future. As tensions continue to mount, keep an eye on the indicators, military movements, shifts in gold prices, and the political narratives being spun. These are the signs that can give you a clue about what's coming next. And remember, in times of uncertainty, knowledge and vigilance are your greatest assets. Stay informed, stay prepared, and make decisions that protect your financial well-being. Whether or not a new conflict emerges, the world's financial landscape is shifting. The decisions made today will shape the future, not just for global economies, but for every individual investor trying to navigate through these turbulent times. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and always be ready to adapt.